I suppose I should do a bit more of a proper introduction. Well, I suppose I'm not actually, going to do a proper introduction. I just, I figured, that's probably a good idea, but I'll save it for some other time. But indeed, welcome back. For those of you, aka, so far, no people, but I guess I'm, sort of doing some weird time travel thing where I'm talking to people in the future that are watching this stuff. So hello, future people watching this on your holographic screen in your flying car. You know, I hope this video finds you well. You know, but today I really wanna focus up. Really wanna go to the Nether. That's my big goal for today. Um, let's see, how many diamonds do we have? Just enough to craft full diamond. Not sure if I want to do that though, because I don't want to lose full diamonds. The boots and the chest plate, really I don't mind because there is like sort of a hierarchy to how you want to craft the armor. Uh, like once you get diamonds, first you want to start off with well, if you only have 4 diamonds, then of course all you can craft is the boots. But the boots and the chest plate, they give the most uh armor per diamond, and it also gives a bit of armor toughness, which is cool. But it gives the most armor per diamond, so these are the most efficient pieces to craft. So if you have like quite a few diamonds, what you want to craft first is chest plate, and then you want to craft the boots, and then I think it goes helmet and then pants. Uh, let's see, does it go helmet pants? I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, it does go helmet pants, I believe. Actually, no, I think it goes pants helmet. Pants helmet, helmet pants. Figure it out. I could test it. I could test it. I'm going to test it. This gives +5 armor. Let's see, so 5 armor for 7 versus 2 armor for 5. Okay, yeah, it's pants then this. Actually, is that better? No, 6 for 8. That's, let's see, 6 for 8. I'm an engineer, I could do the math. So this is 3/4, and then the pants would be 5 for 7. Which, is that better than 3/4? I gotta pull out a calculator here. I can't believe this. Okay, so chest plate does end up being. Oh dang, this is 1/2. Okay. So you wanna go chest plate, then boots. Wait, seriously? What? Okay, they have to have changed some stuff. I can't believe I'm giving out false information for guides. I'm really sorry about that. Also, holy moly, this music seems really loud to me, but I have it in the OBS settings such that it's not going to be too loud for the end viewer. I need to focus up. I'm getting to the Nether immediately. In fact, I remember I already did this kind of, sort of. I just need a flint and steel. There we go. Also probably want to take some pork chops as well. Maybe craft a gapple. And we'll head down there right quickly. Let's get the pork chops up there. Very well. Let's craft the gap. Excellent. Well, let's start moving down there. To be honest, I'm not sure if I'm going to end up at the exact same nether portal, but I'm just gonna start moving. I think I may actually head down here. Actually, I wouldn't really like that. Yeah. Do I really have a choice? If I want to get like another portal close by. Not really. Oh, wait, I could just mine the obsidian. Especially since I have efficiency 1. It shouldn't be that bad. And especially since we spent so much time, like mining diamonds and stuff. I think it'd be really, you know, we're not trying to speed run anymore. I'm gonna be completely honest. That time frame is already passed. So we're just gonna be hitting our head the next couple of minutes here. Punch up a bit as well. I'm a particularly avid coffee drinker. I've already gone over the caffeine addiction, but really I'm just in it for the taste. It's not because I'm actually, like horribly addicted. It's because, it's really good stuff. It's nice. It's got this bitter taste. Okay. I did that a bit weird. Did that a bit strange, but it's fine. And what I like to do is once I get this opened up, I just put the water bucket in there and I start cruising. Oh yeah, I like coffee. You could get me, Americano, even though it's literally just espresso and water. Like it can be pretty good. It can be pretty good. Uh, Personally, I drink coffee with, some half and half, or what you would call like cream. Uh, Second on the list is milk. Third on the list is geez, what is it even called? Like that powdered creamer they sprinkle in. I don't know what sort of chemical, magic they use to dehydrate that, but that also works. It's certainly not my favorite, but it gets the job done. And then, in terms of different coffee drinks, latte. Sure, I'll take a latte, man. Like, I feel like lattes, well, I'm not sure how the coffee landscape has changed in, the past however many years, but, typically, like, if you want to portray, like, the traditional form of masculinity, you get your coffee black, man. You don't get it any other way. You don't get it with, sugar or cream. You get that, you get it plain. And personally, and I know this has been shaped by how a lot of other people have viewed this over the years. I think that's kind of stupid because, I mean, the way I view it is, if you were really like, portraying those traditional qualities of masculinity, uh, you wouldn't care what other people think about how you drink your coffee. You wouldn't try to hopelessly fit in to the opinions of everyone when everyone's got different opinions on what they like. That's that's kind of like something that's sort of tripped me up myself. Not in just the masculinity part of it, but pretty much just when I try to like reach out to people, when I try to make friends, it can be tempting to essentially try to find something which pleases like the most amount of people to like say do the things that, makes everyone, like happy, right? Makes everyone content. And for those of you that know where that leads, it's pretty much all you end up really saying are a bunch of, relatively benign things, which is like fine because it's, you're not saying anything, incendiary. You aren't ruffling anyone's feathers, and that's fine. You can do that, and that's what they do in the workplace. That's what they do in a lot of situations where it's like, okay, your goal isn't to, make friends. Your goal is to get your job done. But when your goal is to make friends, and that's your approach, it's pretty difficult to, actually get to, know people or get other people to know you because all you go on is, you're just like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that works. And I mean, the thing is, it's just like, in the way I see, things, like, for example, if, I'm working with someone, you know, like, because they disclose to me, like, they got a problem, and, they have this way of going about and solving it. Like, unless, like, there's something, like, actually, like, 100%, like, that I wouldn't do because I don't, think it's the right thing to do, it's like, oh, really? You could just, there's a lot of ways to solving problems. And personally, I'm for, people taking creative approaches to, solving things. So when someone comes to me, like even with like a conversational topic, you know, I do a lot of listening, and that is like, I mean, it's nice for people, who don't usually have someone that listens to them, I feel as if I'm very big among those people. But for people that, like to hear what other people have to say and what hear, so basically, like, I have something, would it be the people that are opposite of me? Like that, oh, the people that want to hear other people talk, you know. I want to hear other people talk, but then when it comes to me, like, oh, how are you doing? I'm just like, oh, it's like, I'm doing fine, right? That's the coverall answer. I got a lot of stuff going on, not anything in particular, just stuff, the classic. Every day, another day, another bunch of stuff. That's the classic saying. Uh, yeah. And every day I do stuff and I do it fine. So there's not really a lot to work with there. But I mean, it's very difficult to nail down specifics, especially when I know like people aren't going to be necessarily into like, like, I mean, I think it's also, just like, I don't want to talk about people with, what I do on a daily basis. I just pretty much just do my homework, and then, whenever I have free time, I get on the computer, I play games, you know, like this one, like Minecraft. I might come to regret placing it so close, but surely there will be no zombified things crawling through the portal, killing my future livestock. I don't have any livestock yet, trampling my crops, yada yada, etc. First thing I want to do is I want to grab some crimson stem, like a It's not Crimson Wood, it's Crimson Stem. Kinda sounds like something. Yep, that is something. I don't have anything. I'm really just kinda screwed. This kid just said so. I don't know how I outranged that guy, like, at all. That guy doesn't see me. I suppose it's good. Really should get out some building blocks here. Let's put the cobble deep slate in the hotbar real quick. And, we're right there. We're gonna walk as straight as possible. Because I'm not getting lost. Because I don't want to use F3. That's the main thing. I suppose if I do get lost, I can just make another nether portal. I can just make a giant map and try to find my way back, but I don't know. Ooh, that could have been kind of bad. I mean, we aren't too far from the original spot where we entered, so it'd actually be really easy to get our stuff. But yeah, it feels like just really kind of weird to like honestly, I feel like I have no personality, but I mean, I think about me and I think about the things that I do, you know, and I look at what other people and what other people do, and it's really just like, seems like, when you say someone, doesn't have a personality, you're really discounting, you know, their own actions. Like, oh, what you do doesn't really matter enough to the point where, it's like, it doesn't even, constitute a person. And that's kind of messed up. And then that's versus, like, if you say someone has a fantastic personality, it seems like you're kind of over-evaluating. Because it's like at the end of the day, we're all just doing, like things, but in like, I don't know, a certain type of way. Like if I show like apprehension to doing stuff, then that makes me, I don't know, like lazy. Which I mean certainly has its perks, but one of which being that, if the thing that you were going to do suddenly becomes unnecessary, or let's see, what's the other thing? Suddenly becomes unnecessary, or maybe it's actually a bad thing if you would have did that. Then that's when it becomes useful to, be lazy. Because I didn't do it. And I get rewarded for not doing it. That's pretty cool. But I mean, you also got vice versa. Or if I'm lazy and I don't do something, I was supposed to do it, then I'm kind of, a little bit down and out, right? But, and sometimes I'd say I'm lazy, sometimes I'd say I'm proactive. To get a real accurate assessment of, how lazy I am, how proactive I am, I'd really have to start comparing myself to other people. But the thing about comparing yourself to other people is like, even comparing yourself to one person, you need a lot of information about them. Because otherwise you're just comparing it only to like certain aspects in their life, I can imagine people people would be very proactive about, getting, food and nutrients into their body. Right, I almost just fell there, but it could also, be like, oh, maybe I'm depressed and I don't eat for like a few days. And like I get that, and that is a problem. You should, you know, I know this sounds generic and such, but if you're that, if you even approach that level of depressed, you should start trying to address that problem, right? And the reason I'm saying that instead of like, like necessarily like get help is because, I mean, I don't just want people to like be leaving that, like for someone else. Because you start leaving it for someone else, eventually, like you start believing like, oh, only someone else can do this for me. And I believe that, you do have, at least some power to, try to, improve how you feel. And, you could try, new things. Of course, don't, like start cracking open new vices, like new cans of beer, you know, or new cans of soda, if that gets it across better. Like, don't try to, you know, get into a bunch of things that dig you into a deeper hole. Like, even if you do, find some joy in that, some sick twisted joy, you should at least try to, give yourself a chance by getting into something that could be useful or productive, like an art form or a sport, you know. And I mean, when you get into it, it really should be like for fun. Like if you have really a lot of fun with competing, then you could get into it that way. But if competition, sort of leaves you feeling drained or down, then I recommend, just get into it casually. You know, you don't got to do this crazy. Oh yeah, they don't. I have gold armor. Nice. Good forethought. Good forethought. Uh, Say you just gotta resolve that stuff, in a healthy way. And you do have the capability of doing that. You do. It's actually quite easy because, you are the, instead of having someone recommend something to you and then you having to test that, you could just test it right then and there, yourself. Like, oh, do I like this or not? And you could come up with your own ideas based on what you like and what you don't like. So really, really personally, I'd recommend it. In fact, I'd think it's quite a swell idea. Oh, dude, what? But back to the coffee. One of my favorite drinks. One of my favorite drinks, and it's not because it tastes good, is espresso. Espresso, I love the concept of espresso. It's like, what if we took all the bad parts of coffee and we just, like, concentrated it down into, like, this brutal little, what you would see in, like, I don't know, like, in, like, a gutter or something. It does look like a, sewer sludge, when you get in the cup. Like, did you just scrape this in the freaking canal outside? But, you think it would taste absolutely horrible. You think it would taste absolutely nasty, and to some extent, it kind of does, right? Like I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It really is one of those things where it's like an acquired taste. But I guess the one catchphrase that sort of drives me forward whenever I'm drinking espressos, I really gotta appreciate the taste of the bean. And I don't know what that means, on like a fundamental level. I don't even know where I got that from. Enjoy the taste of the bean. Sounds very silly, but that's always what I think about whenever I'm drinking espresso. And I guess fundamentally that's what you're doing. You just crush the espresso beans, you know. You extract the freaking the bare bones essence from it, with as little water as possible, and then you get espresso. I guess in that sense, it's the most intimate way you could possibly enjoy your coffee. And unfortunately, it's also the one you need the best beans for, because you can't really mask the flavor of just the bean when you got just the bean in there. Like even an Americano, you got some good water, or water with enough, minerals in it or whatnot. You can drown out, any sort of like off taste. Or if it's, like too acidic, you put some salt in there, too bitter. Well, I guess it's the same as acidic, you put some sugar or something. But I mean, if you want to like enjoy like a plain espresso, it's gotta be quality beans. That's the thing, and I know this has been influenced by popular opinion like a ton, but it really feels like a lot of coffee beans are really the same. I don't really feel like I'm getting some, unique, interesting uh, when I dive into a cup of coffee. I feel like I'm just getting, the same beans that were put in another bag, you know. And the only places that's different is coffee shops, which ultimately concerns me and brings me to the belief that, it's not the beans that are making this stuff, because they serve you like curated drinks at the coffee shop. It's pretty good. Like they make that stuff pretty dang good. But it ain't the beans. It's whatever else they put in there. Which if you're very unlucky, it could be, corn syrup. Which I mean corn syrup it's not really that bad, honestly. Like well on a small scale. Of course, if you start drinking corn syrup religiously, it's gonna be just as bad as, if you eat a bunch of sugar religiously. But I mean, the only difference between corn syrup and sugar is, the type of sugar it is. Uh, I think corn syrup is like, what is it, a glucose fructose blend? Hold on, let me make a biggie Google search here. Corn syrup, glucose maltose blends. Yeah, there you go. And it's just a proportion of glucose and maltose. So sugar, it would just be glucose in the sugar. Yup. And it's specifically this molecule, alpha alpha D glucose that gives you, that's sugar. And then the body can process it. If in case you're wondering if it's like a beta glucose, then the body processes it differently, and it's not the same. That's the point. But yeah, I mean, and it's the same for honey as well. It seems like honey's healthier. And to some extent, it does have like trace minerals and vitamins. But at the end of the day, it is also just like it is just sugar. Like I'm sorry to break it to you. Let me search at the proportion of that as well. Yeah, honey is fructose and glucose. So, oh yeah, and if you have high fructose corn syrup, guess what's in that? A lot of fructose, but also some glucose, I believe. Yep, and some glucose as well. So, honey and high fructose corn syrup basically really similar, really similar. Both have fructose and glucose. So the proportions are like a bit different, but yeah, chemically really similar. So if you just want to get a bunch of high fructose corn syrup and bump it into your coffee every day, then there you go. But I wouldn't recommend it personally. I'd recommend getting used to drinking coffee plain, and that'll put I don't know if you're on your chest. Personally, I think it's a bit more of a statement to enjoy coffee, whichever way you want. Just whatever. Let's go back into the nether. Let's get some more resources. 'Cause I kind of want to get decked out. Hopefully find this nether fortress as well. That would be very nice. I would like to end the video after getting one blaze rod. Also, that water bucket will do me no good here. Once again, I'll just go in a straight line. Uh, I'd like to find the most solid path around. And I will do so by going around in the most solid path. And they say it isn't easy. There we go. Take a couple of hits for the team. Gold Pants still holding up, thankfully. If they weren't, I would know, because it would play a very loud sound when they brute. But, let's see, so far, we're doing good. We've got to do a bit of parkour here. Ooh. This is gonna be a pretty brutal gap. Unfortunately, we do gotta start bridging. Also, I'm pretty sure I said this before, but I have been playing this game for like 10 years with the 5-year gap in between. It's you would never think that, but because I'm still really struggling at this. I even though it's because I don't practice a lot. You do something for 10 years, but you don't put a whole lot of effort, a whole lot of practice into it. You're gonna get the 10th year, and you're gonna know like a few things possibly, but chances are you're still gonna be struggling quite a bit. So let that be motivation for practice, I hope. Uh, let's get to this group real quick. Let's dig down. Hopefully some of these guys at least see the gold down here. There is the fact that like over time stuff can sink in. right, like knowledge, it could sort of trickle down from, like that surface level of like, oh, okay, I just learn about this, and I don't know that much about it. It could trickle down into your brain. Eventually, it becomes, like a pretty fundamental memory that you have. But what you have to do for that essentially is you gotta like study a bunch, get it all like sprinkled down on top of your brain, and then you just let it settle in. One of the best things to do is to study before you go to bed and sleep on it. That's gotta be like the best. That's the de facto, right? That's your primo way of getting stuff into your head. Simplest, easiest. May I dare say the best. So, yeah. I'm not gonna take on this group of big ones. It'd absolutely destroy me. Just looking for any sign of nether brick, man. Literally any. Ugh, I should know. Is that nether? No, that's nether rack. It's not nether brick, that's nether rack. I just kind of realized nether brick is like only a couple of letters. Oh wait, no, it's literally only one letter off from being nether rick, which reminds me of pickle rick. And I think that's freaking awesome, man. That's so cool. Like, I'm pickle rick. I should create like a monument, like a pickle on oh geez, where is this skeleton? No, I have no clue where that guy is. He chilling down there, if so then I'll avoid down there. Very well. If it seemed like I popped out a bit early, it's because I did. I'm not waiting until like the absolute last minute to pop the gap, because it's probably would be too late. Had to make sure I wasn't gonna get sniped off real quick. I think I actually blocked that. No way. I'm gonna dance. If only I had a sword, then I could do the iconic Minecraft Steve knocking off the skeleton off the cliff. But I need a pig in the background. I suppose a piglin would do, but it wouldn't be as cool. It would be modern day Minecraft, and that's nowhere near as good as 1.0. Man, this version of the game sucks. I wish, I could just go back to the old days. You know, if I just punch grass, that'd be so cool. We should just go back and punch grass. That'd be so cool. Yeah. Really struggling to find any signs of Blaze related life here. I gotcha. I'll hit you with the chaser shot. Never mind. Completely missed. Oh, hopefully there isn't too much trouble in this valley where I'm literally just trapped. What? That's crazy. That's actually freaking. That's bull honky, bro. That's actually crazy. It doesn't see me, really? I thought I swear it would see me. Yeah, see me after that. Suppose not. Cool. I'll take that free kill. Don't mean to be disrespectful, Mr. Guest, of course, but I knew you're a pretty easy target. Not calling you fat or anything, it's just, you know. Okay, yeah, these pretty large. That's unfortunate. I try not to use F5, but I got a little bit impatient. I'm gonna have to get over there, so I'm just gonna get this guy real quick. Make sure this isn't gravel. I'm not gonna make that mistake. Wait. Well, that's not nether brick. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. I promise once we get to the nether fortress, things are gonna pick up a bit in terms of progression. But for now, you are stuck with me. And by you, of course, I'm referring to the time travelers. Uh, and pick me up a holographic cheeseburger while you're there in the future. I'm not sure if I'm excited or scared for the future. Well, actually, I know what I am. It's indifferent. I don't really care. But if I had to choose, if I had to choose an emotion, well, I mean, we could look at, previous, happenings. They made the chicken spicy because it's in the nether. That's hilarious. It's a spicy chicken. Okay. It's technically a lava chicken. There you go. It's a lava chicken. It's a literal lava chicken. Because it's in the nether. It's a lava chicken. Okay. I feel like the Minecraft movie, like any other like mass marketed movie, is really just a psyop. So when you start singing the chorus of Lava Chicken and in public, you really had no chance of resisting propaganda to begin with. You just kind of you done. Okay, so this is definitely lagging quite a bit because this guy shoots arrows slow as heck, which I hate to admit it, but I suppose this is kind of a tool assisted a tool assisted super play at this point. It's no longer just I'm using freaking OBS hacks to slow down the arrows. I find that pretty humorous. Maybe I could find a recording software that doesn't do that. Or maybe I could actually figure out how to use OBS. I don't think that's happening anytime soon. I think we're really just, stuck in the rut right now. And getting it out is going to require a lot of tools that I don't have in my toolkit right now. I'm thinking what I might want to do is end it out. Wait a second. Hold on. No, that's the chunk borders. And also the fog is circular, so I don't know why I'm trying to cheese it like that. But yeah, I have definitely strayed from the path. Although not too much, so I should be able to find my way back. hopefully. But I think I might just log out soon, and for the next episode, not only would I, try to find another fortress, I could also try to find my way back, because, getting a good night's sleep, completely forgetting, how I got here, and then coming back, that seems really like a fun idea. I want to try doing that. And as much as, I hate admitting it, content's content, so, if I get lost and, I try to find my way back, it's like, it's at least something to do, right? Even though, I could be doing other cool stuff, like I could have beaten the game already, I could have, been building really cool structures, I could have built, I remember one of my old survival worlds, I built the Among Us crewmate. I might do that again as like a tribute. It wasn't anything, to write home about, it was probably literally like 20 by 20 blocks. So, in terms of, resource intensiveness, we're really talking like a 1. Oh yeah, and in the future, I have certainly been thinking of hopping to different multiplayer servers. Uh, I used to have a multiplayer server I'd get on a lot, it's just, I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about it. It's like, just kind of weird. And then, like I spent a lot of time on there and stuff. It's just, I don't know. It doesn't seem like the best idea for the type of stuff that I like to do. Like the people there are really cool. It's just that I don't feel like you know, I don't really talk a lot to people. So, sort of just being in there for like a while is just kind of like, what am I really doing there? Plus, it's like a server meant for like, college people. And I'm like 37 years old, so, even though, I've gotten my PhD in advanced wombology, it's just, I really feel out of place. Why does that look so much like a nether fortress? Are you freaking kidding me? Dude. This is brutal. I turned generate structures on. Yes, I did. I found the village. So clearly, this is just a me problem. But along that note, it's like I don't even know where to look for like a different Minecraft server. Because that's like the main demographic of Minecraft servers is just super young people. So honestly, I don't even know what I'm expecting to find. Oh, that is really just kind of unfortunate. Because I don't really think I have a lot to go to in terms of that, but I mean, if anything, I could just, continue doing single player, that's fine. Or maybe I could do multiplayer in the same way I'd have done it before. Okay, I need to get out of here quick, otherwise these magma cubes are gonna catch up. And also, I'm not gonna continue navigating, because this is just a really tiny peninsula. It's just up in the air. Thank goodness. Oh yeah, I should probably grab these arrows as well. Ooh, that could have been kind of bad. And hopefully the illegal molecule videos on the way sometime soon. Don't quote me on that, but hopefully sometime soon we'll have it out. Uh, did I not get a fire? Oh no, I did. I did get a fire resistance potion. I just stored it away because I thought that wasn't useful for some reason. That could have been so bad. I meant to eat this. I almost punched that guy. Yeah, this is just really not going too well. You know what? I think I started out around that way. And as such, I think I'm gonna end it pretty soon. Lest I find another fort eventually, possibly, maybe, perhaps. It's gotta be like around here, man. It's gotta be around. I'm so tempted to make any kind of joke, but I do want to be taken kind of seriously. I want to maintain some level of professionalism, which before has been previously unknown and unseen. From me as a person. No, I'm just kidding, screw that. Thing, I am really. This isn't even like the surface anymore. This is a labyrinth. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, if I want to get lost, this is probably the place to do it. So I'm gonna call it here. If you made it you even to the end of this video, well, thank you very much. Uh, if you want to see more, uh, please subscribe. I know that's a bit contrived, but I don't know. Uh, I was talking about Technoblade last video. I mean, he has pretty big influence, and I've also heard other YouTubers just say when you tell people to subscribe, it it's really helpful, and they love to do it for some reason. I don't know why, but I'll say it again. Make sure to like and subscribe to the video, and you know, I don't know, do something else. See ya.